Hello guys, Shadow Cybot here, and today I'm doing another Amphibia episode review. I woke up at 7 o'clock just to watch this episode, guys, so I'm super excited to do it this early. Please click the like button and subscribe, guys, and ring the notification bell, and even comment if you have something to say, guys. I was going to play music with this, but I remember last time I tried to do a video with music, the music kind of does this thing where it gets super loud and you can't even hear my voice. So guys, I'm super excited to talk about this episode. It was more of a playful episode, a fun episode, and I enjoy those. So in the beginning, I don't know why I didn't think this would happen, guys, but Marcy's staying with the planters. And she's actually outside the house, which is interesting. But I don't know why. I never thought Marcy would be with the planters. I thought she'd go to Utopia and they'd go here, using Jack Sparrow to just fly over there. But apparently not. She's actually with the planters and busts out of the van very early. After she kind of runs around a bit, kind of screaming, then they finally wake up and go to the town. I'm thinking, because I don't want to say marketplace, but it's kind of like a marketplace inside the town. And of course, as Marcy's done before, she immediately loves the town and wants to question basically everyone and make friends with most of the people in this town. Of course, she comes off more as annoying, and like Anne first did, so no one really likes her. And then, after a while of talking, this happens. Marcy, after talking with Anne about how they're slower to respect and this happened to her, she doesn't want to listen, wants to do her own plan, and ends up falling back and breaking the statue. This is actually where the problem begins for her, and not because of the statue. Surprisingly, she ends up fixing the statue with a few, I don't know if those potions, I don't know what those are. I'm going to assume potions at the moment. And this, I believe that may be sandpaper, or maybe a Wartwood. And maybe it ends up fixing it even better than what it was. And with this, she believes that she should try and fix up the whole town to win over the town. So she starts out doing stuff like here, fixing, I believe those are potholes. And she does other stuff with the help of Anne, at first. But then, of course, Mayor Toadstool comes, and just like he did with Hot Pop, well, actually nearly conned Hot Pop, conned Anne, he's about to con Marcy. And I like how this happens, because it feels like Marcy's getting introduced to Wartwood. It feels like Anne all over again. So another thing I love is that with Anne's experience of what I just said, she warns Marcy that any plan of the mayor's is probably going to go belly up, even though the mayor plans to turn this place into a tourist attraction, which Marcy thinks that she'll get a lot of attraction from. People will probably accept her more. And this leads to one of the funniest parts of the episode, in my opinion, so I'm actually going to play it.
The way to everyone's heart. I don't know, Mars. Any plan of the mayor's is sure to go belly up.
You're probably right.
No, you're not!
I just find that hilarious how she actually stayed up the whole night waiting just to say that. But, as Anne predicted, sadly, she ends up rebuilding the whole town. And another thing, guys, I'm going to mention because it's going to be brought in very soon. If I didn't already mention it, Marcy even says to Anne that the reason the town is so amazing is because it was built on a swamp, and the original creators made the exact weight measurements for it to stay afloat. So when Anne wakes up, first of all, I'd like to point out, what is she wearing? I feel like that's a new jacket, and I wonder where she got it from. But that's for another time. When she wakes up, the whole town is now renovated. It's all new. And they even call it New Wartwood, which I never thought they'd actually call it. But they call it New Wartwood. And, of course, Anne is annoyed that Marcy did it, but also is scared for her because she knows, like what happened with her, the mayor never helps. So after they do their, oh wow, everything's so great spiel, and then tell everyone for the next 15 minutes everything's free. Of course, nobody's really paying attention to anything else, like how the town just changed. Everybody's happy for the changes, but Anne still doesn't think this is right. And very soon, Marcy sees that Anne is right. Like I brought up a bit earlier, it was built on exact weight measurements, and these renovations were too heavy, causing everything and nearly everyone to sink into the swamp. And what I actually found interesting about this swamp, guys, it looks exactly like the swamp from the game I'm actually playing, Amphibia Locus Pocus. Go check that out, guys, but I still have some questions about that. So I'm definitely feeling I may do a few theories regarding this episode. But that's for later. Of course, finally seeing her mistake, Marcy calls in her bird, Jack Sparrow, and rides with Anne to basically grab a bunch of stuff, throw them over cliffs to make it less heavy, and saves everyone in the town. So in the end, Marcy basically says she's sorry, and of course everybody's angry at her. But in the end, everyone realizes she's just like when Anne first came here. Every references when she set the whole place on fire. So then they realize that they're probably going to accept Marcy sometime, just not yet, just like they did with Anne. And I like how they did this, because this whole episode, Anne felt a bit more mature. Because remember, in the first season, she never really got respected until episode 10, where she was a part of the Toad Lords. And the only reason she got accepted was because she was defending them. So I found it very interesting how in the beginning she really wanted the respect, and now she's the one helping Marcy. So yes, Marcy, I love the character growth. Feels like a new character introduced to Wartwood. I really enjoyed this episode. So, and I like how they did this as well. I like how they keep Marcy's character of someone who really loves this town. Because they both see a seed store, which of course everyone else finds boring, and they both are getting super excited to spend hours at a seed store. And since of course this is the Polly episode, it does what Polly normally does. Ask Anne and Sprig if they want to do mischief, and of course they say no, as usual, because they're actually playing a game on Anne's phone. It's actually called Robo Ring. And actually it looks really cool, guys. I love how they put a small amount of effort into making a cool background and a few cool characters. That's pretty interesting, guys. So, of course, they're like, no, Polly, you can't leave. We're responsible for you. Just stay here. And, as usual, I mean, they just don't learn. Polly does not want that at all. So then what Polly does is land herself in a bunch of seeds and have them shoot into the seed store. Of course, the owner is not happy, or at least I think it's the owner. It could be a manager or something. But they're not happy. See Anne and Sprig, and Polly tells them that they're the ones who did it, causing them to get in trouble and have to pick them all up. Which actually takes longer because a bunch of birds are hitting them at the same time. As Polly tries to cause mischief on her own, you can see right there. She thinks she's going to do all these big things, but she realizes doing mischief on your own isn't really that fun. She really can't do much. She tried to steal a pie off a windowsill, too short. Tried to make a giant splash, too small. So she realizes by herself, mischief isn't that fun. Until she comes by a bunch of garbage, I don't know where this is, probably is where trash pileup goes, and see something moving. And this is where we get our first official look at Frobo, meeting with the first character, Polly. And this gets really interesting, guys. So, what I'm wondering is, because you'll see later on in the episode why I say this, but why did it follow around the whole way and not come closer to them? Like, people were always wondering, why did it always go outside Newtopia instead of trying to go in? It always stayed a safe distance away from them. And I really want to question why after this episode. But that's also for later, probably a theory. And Polly learns that whatever she does, apparently Frobo will do as well. Like, she touches her nose, he touches his nose. She guards himself from him, he guards himself. So basically, Frobo is like a big version of Polly, that Polly can do whatever she wants with. And of course, with this, Polly goes wild.
So what else can you do?
Let's see him Stumpies jumping and crashing into and soon he ends up jumping into the fountain, which ends up destroying the whole fountain. So soon, somebody accidentally kicks Polly while running to stop Frobo, and Frobo does not like this and tries to protect Polly, in which he gets laserized and starts fighting. And this, guys, I'm going to play the whole scene. It's something I love. I love seeing Anne and Sprig actually getting a fight scene. I find this so
Hey, put her down, you bitch!
I just love that, guys. I love seeing a fight scene. Because, really, we haven't gotten a real fight scene since about Reunion. I mean, there have been minor fight scenes, but no real fight scene.
Words!
So then he actually speaks, which I found surprising. He actually says Polly's name, of course, making Polly happy. And then what we all saw in the trailer. So Hot Pop's like, why do you have a robot? And Marcy's like, can I have one? Oh, this reminds me, I forgot to mention how he got his name. Polly actually, because of the Robo game, saw it was a frog and called him Frobo. Yep, her name. And of course, he does
Welcome to the family, Mr.
Now,
Frobo.
this end part of the episode, guys, they were so close to finding out.
Wow. First underground computers and now a robot? Wait a second. Sprig, you don't think that thing was what got built in the ruins of disaster, do you?
No way. And followed us all the way home? That would have been hundreds of miles.
Could be.
Nah.
Sadly, they dash away their theory. But, guys, they were so close to figuring out where Frobo really came from. But that shows you that there is some stuff in common. And one day in the series, they may actually find out. Well, guys, that's going to end this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. It was a really fun episode for me. I mean, we're not really going to get a serious episode until April 10th, is it? Where we get the second temple. But until then, I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a nice day.